Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Christine and this is It's Just Christine. For today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys the last few months of my 2024 planner. I've been doing quarterly flip through, I guess that's what you call it. So I do have quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3 up on my channel. If you guys, I'll link that down below. But this is for the last quarter of 2024, so I'm going to be going over my spreads of for the month of October, November, and December. So if you guys are interested in this, please stay tuned. Okay, so let's start off with the month of October. Previous to this month, I was already using leftovers from kits that I have previously used. And I've just been using, like I said, the leftovers to kind of decorate my October monthly, well, my monthlies. And October was definitely one of those months. This is, I believe, Fall in the City from the Pretty Pink Co. I'm not 100% sure if that's the name of the kit, but this is definitely the Pretty Pink Co kit. This is in her silver foil, and yes, I have not written on it, and I don't think I will be writing on it in the future. Usually in the last few months of any year, the monthlies are the ones that I kind of tend to get lazy filling up. It's just, I think that it gets a little bit more redundant, and yeah, so I ended up not filling it up, which technically I should since I've already decorated it. But to be honest, I prefer decorating it than filling it up, so that's why I don't fill my monthlies, because I'm not very good at writing things down. Yeah, so this, like I said, is from the Pretty Pink Co. And then here is the first spread of October. So this is from September 30 to October 6. If you guys have watched my plan with me previous to this video, I mentioned that was my first time using Starlight Paper Studio. And lo and behold, obviously I am so wrong. This is actually the first time I used Starlight Paper Studio. I totally forgot what this kit is called. I would like to say it's called Reverie. I could be wrong, but Kat was nice enough to sell this to me, and it was really, really nice of her because I really, really love this kit. And even though I went super simple with the layout, the putting down the stickers, and I still really love how this turned out. But to be honest, if you ever use a Starlight Paper Studio kit, I don't think you need to go all out on the rest of the spread, because the full boxes itself is just so gorgeous. And it's always so rich in story. Like, you guys, like, if you look at it, it just looks so beautiful and so magical. And I'm actually really shocked that Kat let go of this kit, because it's a nighttime kit and it just looks so very ethereal and so whimsical, which is definitely a Kat kit. But like I said, it was really, really nice of her to send it my way, and I totally not regret getting this from her. And I think ever since this spread, I've been wanting more Starlight Paper Studios kit, but I just need to wait until she has a sale before I grab all the things that I want. Yeah, so that is for the first week of October. And I'm not even gonna do highlights of my week, because the week is just really I don't know, like, I don't really do much in the whole entire week. If there is something that jumps out at me, then I'll definitely do that, but I'm not gonna give you guys like a play-by-play of what I did that week. I just wanted to show you guys how this little box here where my dog ate my little niece's diapers. And when I say he ate it, he ate at least 50% of it. And if you guys know how expensive diapers are, I was not a happy camper with that dog when I saw that he ate most of my little niece's diapers. But I found it, now that I have it on my planner, it just kind of makes me laugh thinking about it. Okay, so let's move on to the week after. So the week after is from October, I don't even write the dates, this is so bad. So this is from October 7 to 13. Sorry, I had to count it, I'm like a little kid. So this is from the Pretty Pink, sorry, not the Pretty Pinko. This is for Paper Trail Plants. She had a sale, I believe the beginning of 2024, where she was selling a lot of her old kits. Like it was, I don't want to say it was random pull. I feel like she was just selling it for a very discounted price. And I bought a bunch of her kits because I've always wanted to use paper trail plants. It just gets so expensive if I buy stuff from the US shops. So I took advantage of the sale, and this is one of the kits that I bought. Previous to this spread, I've been going crazy with my layouts. I've been experimenting different layouts, different placement of my stickers. And then on this one, I went really simple. So in the beginning, I wasn't really a fan of how this turned out, but now looking at it with the simplicity of it, it totally works. I really love how everything looks. This is I think this is her apple picking kit, and I actually bought a foiled sampler sheet from the Pretty Pinko to match this kit, but it didn't get to me on time. But I still think it turned out really pretty. I just used the foil stuff that I had in my stash, and I believe I also got, no, I didn't get the foiled sampler sheet that matches the kit. But like I said, it still turned out really pretty, and I really love the colors that she uses with the pinks and blues, which is not something that you really see in fall kits, the blues I mean. So that's why I was really drawn to this kit in general. But yeah, it's a really pretty kit. Paper Trail Plants is also one of those shops that I just want to like buy everything from them, but like I said, it just gets to be too expensive. Okay, so moving on to the week of the 14th of October to the 20th, and this is from Dash of Sun Designs, and I would like to say that this is called Autumn's Embrace, I believe so. And I really love how this turned out, especially this scene right here, because I haven't worked with washi paper previous to this kit. And when Chelsea, the owner of Dash of Sun, said that she's working on some washi paper, I was like, oh, I've never worked with washi paper before, and I'm really excited. And she was so nice, and she gifted me this little scene here, and I love how this turned out. To be honest, I literally made this whole entire spread just for this scene right here, because I wanted to use that washi paper, and I love that color payoff. Now I use a lot of washi paper because one, a lot of more shops offer it, and two, I think it just looks so much better than transparent matte on page. Like, look how pretty that is. You won't even realize that that's washi paper. It looks like something drew, or someone drew something. Someone drew something on that page, which is really, really pretty. And I went a little bit crazy on my bottom washi and my top spread. I don't know what you guys call it. The one thing that I would have changed though, I would have put the Sunday up here and I would have moved this scene at the bottom. So instead of me doing a sidebar bottom, like upper and lower, I just did the bottom scene, or sorry, not the bottom scene, the sidebar as a double full box, if you would call it that way. But yeah, so this is for the week of October 14th to the 20th. And yeah, anything that has to do with a green kit, I will always be drawn to it. And I feel like shops this year, they really experimented on their colors. Like, this one is a green one, and then the one previous to that was like a blue one. And yeah, it was just such an amazing spreads that I've been doing these past few weeks in this planner. Okay, so moving on to the week after, which is from October 21st to the 26th. There is the little date dots there that you guys can't see because they're little teeny tiny ones. So this is from the Pretty Pink Co. I'm not 100% sure if this is a mystery kit. I would like to say it is because of this full box right here. I don't usually buy her... Oh no, this is her layering pieces, is it not? Now I don't know. Maybe this is just one of her kits that I bought. I could be wrong. It might be a... Okay, forget what I said. It might be a mystery kit. I don't remember. I'm so bad. I should really write these down, which I technically do. But I've already put away my 2024 catch-all planner, so sorry for that. But nevertheless, this is such a gorgeous kit, and I really, really love everything about it. Like I said, I get really drawn to kits that has greens in it. And this one, like, you get your typical... What's this? You get your typical fall colors, like the burnt orange, the yellows, and then you get this really nice sage green, which I'm totally in love with, and I really, really love how everything turned out. I have a feeling that this kit is called Crimson something, because I remember when I was planning with one of her kits, I really love how the spread turned out, but I know that I kind of complained how the name didn't really suit the kit because it had crimson in it, and then there's really no reds in the spread, and I have a feeling this is that kit. I could be totally wrong. I could just be like off the wall, like, I don't know, hallucinating, but I have a feeling that this is that kit. And yeah, like, this is where I was kind of experimenting on not using a bottom washi. Even though I did use the narrow bottom washi, I still kind of wanted to have like a scene. This girl, I believe, is not part of the kit. This was part of another kit that I bought from her, and I just thought that it looked pretty good with the whole entire spread, and that's why I put it there. And yeah, that's basically this whole entire spread, and I believe that's the whole week of October, sorry, the whole month of October. And then now we're moving on to the month of November. So for the month of November, it was another one of those months where I just used a I used, oh my gosh, what do you call that? I used the leftovers from other kits. This is actually 2 kits that I used from both of them are from the Pretty Pink Co. One of them is from Cozy Days, and then the other one was, I like to say it's called Winter Fair, but I am 100% sure that it's not what it's called. Maybe it's like Gingerbread Fair, something like that. Because I know it has the Ferris wheel, and then it has like kind of like this Christmas market scenes, but I totally blanked out on what it was called. The funny thing is, when I showed this to Kat, she knew exactly which 2 kids it was. It made me giggle because how well she notices these things, and she was like spot on. But I really love how this turned out. Like I said, I didn't really write down anything. I did put like stickers on it where I was planning on writing things down, but it never panned out. But yeah, this is actually one of my favorite monthly spread that I've done, because it just looks clean and it looks like it was meant to be a monthly kit, if you guys get what I mean. But I think it worked out pretty well. I think the only box here that was from Cozy Days was this one, and then everything else was from the gingerbread kit, or like the Christmas fair kit. The one thing that I kind of like switched up a bit was the full boxes. So I took it from the different kits that I have. And a fun fact, these winter activities is actually Danny's freebie from Dash of Sun, since it worked really well. Since this is kind of like a winter themed kit, I thought winter activities would also look great up top here, and I think it worked out pretty well. I really, like I said, I really like how this turned out. And yeah, it's a pretty spread. I just took a bunch of different things and placed it here and hoped for the best, and the best was actually pretty good. Sorry, my voice is kind of starting to give out. I think I'm coming down with something. That's why my voice is just a little bit more mellower than usual. But let's move on to the first week of November. So this is for October 28th to November 3rd. And this is from Dash of Sun. This is called Ghostly Gatherings. It is actually a collaboration with Kat. And I really love this spread. To be honest, yes, it's a little bit too much for the eyes, but I just love how everything turned out in this spread. But this is actually one of my favorite kits that Dash of Sun has released to date. I just love how creepy it looks, especially with this girl who looks like she's about to go to the ball to kill someone. And yeah, and all these like trees with the lanterns. The lanterns are like my favorite. I love lanterns in general, and depending on how you use lanterns, you can either go really like magical and like all the beautiful vibes, or you can go really creepy, which is how this spread turned out. And like I said, I really love how it turned out. I was stressing about the bottom washi because I tried to do something different and it didn't really pan out the way I was thinking. So I was kind of freaking out because I didn't really know how to finish it up. I think up to the last minute I had this bare except for the lace pattern here, which is the only thing I actually thought about. I knew that when I bought this lace pattern, I wanted it to be at the bottom. But after that, I was like, oh, well, I'll think about it while I'm doing the spread. And that was good and dandy if I had something to work with, but I did not. But I still think it did end up being pretty nice. So I'm not mad about it. Everything from here up is like really, really good. And then from like here down, it's just okay. So yeah, this is in her silver foil. I should have been doing like the little twirly thing, but I totally missed the mark on that. So that is for the Halloween week. And then moving on to the week of November 4th to, I cannot see the dates, 10th. So this is from November 4th to the 10th. And this is a kit from the Pretty Pink Co. I don't really know what to say. I can't say that I'm in love with all the spreads, but to be honest, anytime I use the Pretty Pink Co. or any of my favorite shops, I tend to kind of fall in love with them. So here is that twirly thing with a page. As you guys can see, those different foil colors, even though you guys really can't see it, I don't know, it's kind of bothersome to me. This one's not as evident as other ones, but anyways, it still turned out pretty nice. I've been going crazy with my decorations up top these past few spreads. I think November and October, I feel like I experimented more on the top part of this spread. To be honest, this is basically how I've been planning now, so it's nothing new, but I still really like how it looks after the fact, and I really love these florals. These florals are just so gorgeous. I love the shops are kind of like going away from roses. I'm not a fan of roses in general, and I like these kind of like freehand watercolor flowers instead with, let me just go back, like these kind of like chrysanthemums, and then we have like, I don't know, daisy looking flowers. I don't even know if they're real flowers, to be honest. They just look very pretty. So that is for this week. I got stuck on the 401 while I picked up my mom. The 401 is one of the longest highways here in Toronto. Usually in my area, where is the outskirts of Toronto, we don't really get a lot of traffic on that highway in general, especially the time that I picked up my mom. But for that day, which I regret not checking the traffic, we got stuck and I had to wait, like, instead of it being a 15-minute car ride, it ended up being a 30-minute car ride. There was an accident in the highway. No one was hurt or anything. It was just like a bumper to bumper car accident, but it still kind of threw off the whole driving issue. So yeah. And then not the last week, this is the second last week for November, which is from November 11th to the 17th. This week is actually the week of my cousin's birthday, and I'm so I'm actually really sad that I used this kit because I am not a fan of... Okay, so this is from Harriet Wright's design, and I know it's her kit because her kit is... It doesn't go all the way through to the end of the column. As you guys can see, it's just a little bit off. So therefore, I was not happy with how this turned out. I actually did not film this because I had no motivation whatsoever to do this spread. And I am going to make it my business to, if I am not motivated to do a week or the spread because of a kit, I'm going to change the kit. I cannot deal with unhappiness in my planner where the point of doing these plan with me's is so that I can be happy and relax and just look at spreads that will make me happy. I'm not saying that Harriet Wright's designs kits are not pretty. I actually really love these full boxes. They're just so gorgeous. The problem is the way I used the kit wasn't very well. I didn't use it to the point where I could have made it look better. I think what brought me down is my mindset, where I already kind of was like, okay, this is not going to look good, so it's not going to look good. So that was my mindset coming into this spread, which is totally unfair for Harriet Wright's design because, like I said, she has gorgeous kits. So next time I really should just step back and reconvene and then come back when I am in a better mood. But it is what it is. You can't have a good day every day. And I can't even say anything good about this kit. I love, like I said, the full box is amazing, gorgeous, really pretty. Foil colors, like her foils are just like really good as well. And this is definitely a user problem, not a shop problem, user problem. And next time definitely I'll do better, and I will try a tad bit harder to make it work. This week is also the week when Canada Post goes on strike. So they were actually on strike for quite a long time because they were on strike mid-November. And I believe they didn't go back until, I would like to say mid-December or even after the holidays. So that's the reason why there was a lot of kerfuffle with mails, happy mails being received, not received. And it is what it is. So let's move on to the last spread of November, which is from November 18th to the 24th. And this is that kit, which is called Cozy Days. This is from the Pretty Pink Co. I used the leftover of this here on my November monthly. And as you guys can see, I still had a lot to work with. I really love this kit. When this is actually, I remember this kit when the Pretty Pink Co first released it, because it was the first fall kit that she released. And when she released this, I knew I was going to get it, and I knew I was going to use it as a transition kit from the month of November into December, because the colors in it is just one of those colors where, like, it's very muted, it's very fall, but at the same time it's very winter. And I believe I chose silver on purpose because like I said, I was going to use it as a transition from warmer tones to colder tones. And yeah, and I think it worked out really well. I really love this girl right here. There's two of them. I just don't know where the other one is. I could still probably have it. I probably still have it in my stash, but I'm not 100% sure because I know there was the darker version and then there was a lighter version. And I just don't remember where I put it. I really love how this turned out. Like I said, it was a little bit more simple, but it totally works. I really should do something similar like this for 2025 because I love how this turned out. But then again, I think the color is just very, I don't know, it's very muted, but it's like clean and pretty, and it's very feminine again as well. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I really love how this turned out. Okay, so let's move on to the month of December. So for December, since December is my birthday month, I did use a monthly kit. I purchased it from Miss and Meow. Most of my monthly kits are from Miss and Meow because she does monthlies so well. This is her December monthly, and just look how gorgeous this is, guys. This is in her silver foil, and I love this. I really, really love how this turned out. She's been doing that kiss cut for the I can't say full boxes, for those boxes that you're not going to be using for the month. And I really have been liking it. I believe the first one I used was for the month of January, and that one is definitely one of my favorite. Like, look at this January monthly. It's so very pretty, and I really love this mountain area here. And then, like I said, she has those kiss cut florals as well, and I've just been using them for the days that I don't really need. So like here, I used it for 16 and 17 because there's really nothing that I was doing on this day. I just realized that I don't have the date covers for this spread, and I don't know why I didn't put it down, because she does give you the date dots for the kit. So I should hunt that down and see where it is. But yeah, here I put in all the stickers. These stickers actually means, like, the icons actually are supposed to be where they are. I just, like I said, I haven't written anything down because it's just sheer laziness, I guess. But I still think it turned out really pretty. Okay, so let's move on to the first week of December, which is from November 25th to December 1st. I don't really know why this week is in December, because 90% of it is technically a November. But that being said, this kit is from Dash of Sun Design, and this is called something. I don't know what it's called. Oh, Christmas Time in the City. I believe that's what it's called. I love this kit. When she first sneaked this to her PR girls, which is, I am currently a PR girl for Dash of Sun, and when she first sneaked this, I knew I wanted to get it because the colors are just so gorgeous. The full boxes is so very pretty. I was actually going to use this for the week leading into the Christmas week, but I had to change it up because there is something else that I wanted to use for that week. So this became the opening kit for the month of December for me, which I think turned out very, very well. I don't know if I really planned this as well as I wanted to. Like, the kit is very pretty, but there's just some instances where I could have made it a little bit better. But unfortunately, I don't really plan out my planning. I have like an inkling of how I want things to look like, but I don't execute it as well as I would like to most of the time. Here I could have just extended this a little bit more, but since I already placed, I believe I placed this one first, or this one first, and then it just wouldn't look good if it was extended all the way. But yeah, I still, even though I make these mistakes or these shortcomings, the kids always, how do I say this? The kids always make up for it because they're just so gorgeous. They're just so pretty that even if there is a mistake or there is something that's not working, I feel like the kit just totally makes up for how beautiful it is, and it just, the faults just slowly goes away. But yeah, this is definitely one of my favorite spreads that I've done so far. And I think it turned out really pretty too. So let's move on to the second week of December, which is from the 2nd to the 8th. And this is from Saucy Stickers Co. This is called the Nutcracker. I will not forget that because the Nutcracker is definitely one of my favorite ballet shows or movies. So I've watched it, and like I watched the ballet show and I watched the movies of the Nutcracker, and I've always loved the play. Like, I've always loved the story. I've always loved the story of the Nutcracker. And when she released this, and a lot of shops, actually there's like 2 or 3 people or 3 shops that came out with the Nutcracker, I was just in love with the Saucy Stickers Go's the Nutcracker kit. I don't know what it was. I think it was just the colors and how vibrant it is and how pretty it is. I just love everything about it. This is my birthday week, and I specifically went a little bit more nuts with laying down everything. There were some times where like I wish I kind of put more stuff, but I get a little bit overwhelmed when there's too many things going on. So I try to tone it down to where my sanity will let me enjoy the spread. So I went hard, but I went simple, if that makes sense. But yeah, so this, like I said, is my birthday week. This whole week, actually, we had 3 different birthdays. It was my cousin's wife's birthday, and then it was also my little cousin's birthday. And I call her my little cousin because she's the youngest in the family, or the youngest from cousins. So she's the youngest cousin that I have. And then it was my birthday. My youngest cousin and I actually celebrated our birthdays on the same day. So she took the lunch and I took the dinner, which was really funny. But it is what it is when you kind of share the same, like the same week of birthday. You tend to learn how to share. Usually I just give it to her, but I was turning 40 on this year, so I wanted to celebrate it with my family as well. Well, with our family. So I told her she can take the lunch, we'll have lunch, and then I'll take the dinner and we'll have dinner where I want to go. So it all worked out. It doesn't really take anything from us. But yeah, this is a very pretty spread. I wish for next year, someone would come up with another nice nutcracker kit. Okay, so let's move on to, oh, this is that spread. So this is from the Pretty Pinko, and I have no clue if it's called the Christmas Fair or it's the Gingerbread Fair, but it is a very gorgeous kit, and I really, really love how this turned out. I just love all the colors that is in it, even though it's very neutral and it's very, I don't know, like it has the same like colorway. I still think it just looks so gorgeous and it's so pretty. And I love the pops of like burgundy that she had in this spread. I really love how this turned out, and I don't know, I've been really loving the Pretty Pinko's kits. If you guys have seen my other videos, I feel like 95%, well, not 95%, but like more than 50% of my spread is the Pretty Pinko, and it doesn't hurt that she's a Canadian shop, so I don't have to pay that much for shipping, and there's no conversion rate. But yeah, this is a really pretty spread. This week was actually the week of our Christmas party at work. So, and this is also the week that they celebrated my birthday at work. My boss knows that I love tiramisu. It's like my favorite cake. So she actually bought tiramisu for me, and we celebrated my birthday there. It was like literally just eating cake. But yeah, so that is the Pretty Pinko. I'm not sure what it's called. But this is from December 9th to the 15th. So moving on to the week before Christmas, and this is the reason why I had to move Chelsea's Christmas in the City kit from the week before Christmas to the first week in December, because I really, really wanted to use this kit for this week specifically. It just kind of sets the tone for Christmas, and I really, really love how this turned out. This is a Miss and Meow kit. If you guys haven't guessed, I am a huge fan of Miss and Meow. Every time she releases something, I always want all of it, but obviously I have to kind of, you know, rein it in. But when she came out with this kit in general, I was like, I was sold, because I just love, this is also a contender, to be honest, to be my birthday week spread, but the Nutcracker just has a special place in my heart, as always. But this is like everything Christmassy, like traditional Christmas. This is definitely it. If you want like Hallmark Christmas card type of spread, this is definitely the one. And like, look at this snowman, it's so cute. And then like, I really love this ice skating scene, which totally reminds me of Home Alone 2, the one that was set in New York City. I don't know what it is about this scene right here where it kind of reminds me of that, but definitely a very beautiful spread. And this is in her gold foil. Sorry, I haven't been doing the moving around thing. Oh, and I also used a green pen, which I don't think I've been, oh, I have used a red pen here. I've been kind of mixing it up with pens before, but I feel like this one I stuck to black most of the time. Yeah, that was pretty boring of me. But yeah, I was sticking to black apparently until this spread. Okay, so let's move on to the last spread of 2024, and it's this beautiful kit from Dash of Sun Designs, and it's in her gold foil. And this I know for sure 100% is called "Twas the Night Before Christmas," or "Twas the Night," something like that. But it's kind of like her retelling of "Twas the Night Before Christmas," which is a Christmas story. A fun fact, my mom used to read that story to me like all the time, and I feel like I have heard that multiple times. Like, I've heard this story multiple times, and it's just one of my favorite actually Christmas stories. It's just so cute and it's so whimsical, and I love how this kit totally embodies that story. This is a recipe for, I believe, snickerdoodle, which is Chelsea's grandma's. I believe it's her grandma's recipe. So that was really, really cute. And I love how she always gives that personal touch in all her kits. And I love this kit. This was definitely like, I had to rearrange like my kits all around, because when she released this kit, I knew I needed to use it for the Christmas week, and it totally blew my mind on how beautiful this is. And I don't know if you guys can see that star background. That is actually her torn paper from her decorative bundle, and it also was in her alcohol ink swatches. Oh, it's so pretty, and I love how it turned out. It's just so gorgeous, and yeah, it's such a pretty kit. I think Chelsea always comes out with such unique kits, and I'm not just saying that because I'm a PR girl for her, but it definitely is the truth. If you guys ever have time, definitely check out her site and see what I mean, that her kits are just out of this world. It's very, very different. Kind of like Starlight Paper Studio, but they have different vibe to them. Starlight Paper Studio is a little bit more anime, well, yeah, her kids usually tend to look very anime, very like one of those like Totoro looking kind of kids, but like she doesn't do Totoro obviously, but like it's more like anime looking type of kid with that art type of pictures, or like artwork. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but whereas Chelsea's is a little bit more, I like to say personal, but I feel like all kits is personal, but hers just tends to be a little bit more heart. Like, I don't know if you guys like it has like, her heart is definitely in the kits, and that's, I think, what makes her kits just so unique. And it just looks so very pretty, and I really love these two kids. I didn't have a windowsill growing up because we lived in an apartment, and I don't have a sibling. I'm all by myself, but I always had this picture of like me waiting for Santa every 24th, and yeah, it's just, this is such a pretty kid. Anyways, there is actually a bonus spread because I also decorated the last week that was on here, which is the New Year's week, and I went with the Pretty Pinko's, I believe this was a mystery kit. I just don't remember if it's September or October. Could be October. But I didn't want to leave the last page blank, but at the same time, I didn't want to film it because this was actually filmed with, this week was the first week in my new planner, which is now an insert. So I didn't want to film this one and that one and just talk about the same thing. So I thought I was just going to show you guys this as the last bit of spread in this planner. And I actually really love how this turned out. This is in her gold foil. And I went simple because I didn't really want to go crazy and spend like hundreds of minutes and time just doing the spread. But the more I was putting the stickers down, the more I was like, okay, this is turning out to be an actual spread. And I really love how it turned out, and I'm really glad that I did it so that it wasn't a blank space in my 2024 planner. Yeah, that is the whole entire, there's nothing else after that. That was my whole entire 2024 spreads. 2024 definitely has been a memorable year. I started out planning very simple, so this was my January spread, and then as the year progressed, my planning style has also changed. Well, not this one. This one's actually a bad example, but like I said, I've been experimenting a little bit more. Why am I turning into pages that I haven't really done anything in? I was experimenting more on different layouts, different positioning of the full boxes, and using just decorative kits. This is actually one of my favorite spread as well. This is using a decorative kit from Dash of Sun, and I think it turned out really pretty. And yeah, so like I said, my style has evolved. I've been experimenting on a lot of things, different ways, different things that I could possibly do in my planner, and it was a really fun year in terms of my planning. And yeah, I can't wait to see what I have, like in my 2025 planning style. There is a change going on from the different shops. If you guys haven't heard about it, the community has been talking about decorative bundles, journaling bundles, full boxes, no full boxes. And to be honest, it can be a little bit scary. Yes, I understand. It can be a little bit overwhelming. I get that as well. But sometimes there are things that's out of our control and we just need to roll with the punches. And planning is definitely one of those things that I do for fun. And I am really excited to see where everything is going to go. I'm a pretty laid back person when it comes to planning. I tend to just go with the flow and see where the wind takes us. So I am, like I said, I'm really, really excited to see what's going to happen in 2025. And if you guys like this video, please don't forget to hit that like button. I don't know why my camera's crooked, sorry guys. If you guys like this video, please don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and thank you so much.